So one more time. So we are running the last lecture session of marketing. So in this chapter, we're going to talk about designing and managing value networks and channels. So chapter 15, these are the chapter questions that we are going to try to answer. So what is a marketing channel? So marketing channels are sets of interdependent organizations involved in the process of making a product or service available for use or consumption. So there's different independent organizations or interdependent, organizations that are involved in the process of making a product or service available for user consumption. So they are dependently, they depend to each other, they are related to each other, and they sort of help with the process of producing the product or service for the consumption. So that's what we mean by marketing channel. So basically, channels and organizations, they have a push strategy and pull strategy. So basically, marketing strategies, they categorize into push and pull all the time. Push strategy uses the manufacturer's sales force or trade promotion or money or other means to induce intermediaries to carry or promote to sell the product. But pull strategies use advertising, promotion, and other forms of communication, persuade consumers to demand the product from the intermediaries, thus inducing the intermediaries to order it, So push strategy is from the company to the customers. They're just, okay, buy this here, just buy it. This is a promotion or whatever we have. Well, the pull strategy is the creative demand in the customers so that the customers will go to the intermediaries or retailers and ask for those products. So both of them are really helpful, and they're been used a lot. So we have both of them. Okay, so categories of buyers. You have habitual shoppers, high-value deal seekers, and variety-loving shoppers, and high-involvement shoppers. So basically, you have different types of buyers as well. So some of them are just they buy out of habit. They are looking. Some of them are looking for high value. Some of them are looking for differences or varieties, and some of them are looking for they're involved. They're involved in the process. They want to be involved in the changes in the company, so they want to make sure they buy, and there are different levels of buying relationships. So buyer expectations for channel integration, ability to order a product online and pick it up at a convenient retail location. So those are some of the expectations of the buyers. So ability to return an online order product to a nearby store. They also want to be able to return product that they bought online at a nearby store, and also right to receive discounts based on a total online or offline purchases. So according to their purchases, they want to make sure they get some discounts as well. So these are some of the factors involved in the buying expectation. Okay. Should the 4 P's be replaced by solutions, information, value, and access? So basically, what we're talking about is we are looking at different aspects of the marketing side, and these are the factors. Basically, the solutions. We are looking for solutions instead of the products. The P, we are looking for solutions. So it could be a nice way of looking at it. And information instead of promotion, and then value instead of price, and finally the place would be replaced by access. So basically, we're just saying that by the product, you're giving a solution to a problem, to a need. And by our promotion, we are giving information, we're communicating to the customer. And the price is basically the value. I mean, it's even more than a price. It's is the value that you're proposing, and I mean the access, is it accessible, where they can get it, the place, right? So that's a good way of looking at it. Then we have channel member functions. We gather information, develop and disseminate persuasive communications, reach agreements on price and terms, acquire funds to finance inventories, assume risks, provide for storage, provide for buyers payments of their bills, and oversee actual transfers of ownership. So let me just invite the rest of the class. Okay. Uh, so we gather information. We send persuasive and encouraging communications because we are communicating our products and services to the customer. We want to make sure they buy our products. Then there will be an agreement reached for the price, and then we will look for funds to finance inventories and like the risks. We provide storage for the inventories that we buy. And for buyers, payment of their bills, and overseas actual transfer of ownership. Sometimes we, you know, help them, you know, get the ownership from us. So basically, these are the channel member functions. These are like for every single channel, we have for marketing channels. These are the functions that a marketing channel should do. So to design a marketing channel system, you need to analyze customer needs. You need to know what your customer needs. Establish channel objectives. You have to have some certain objectives for your marketing channel. Okay, these are what I want to achieve. So you got to know what you want and then go for it. And then identify major channels alternatives. What are some alternatives on your channel? And then evaluate major channel alternatives. So what are the major alternatives for your channel? You got to evaluate them and, you know, assess them and make sure that you're on the right track. Then channel service outputs, like the lot size, like the size of the plates that you're taking, the delivery time, like okay, how long does it take for you to deliver? The spatial convenience, like is it convenient or not? The product variety, are you providing a certain variety of products? Are they really various or are they just few? And then service backup, or do they have any backup to servicing the customers? Then identifying channel alternatives, type of intermediaries, number of intermediaries, and terms and responsibilities. So basically, the alternatives would be your intermediaries, those who would be between you and the customers. So what are the type of intermediaries you have? Are there many of them, like the number? And then, excuse me, and what are their responsibilities? So these are all factors that you want to consider when you are identifying your channel alternatives. Then number of intermediaries could be exclusive, selective, or intensive. Whether you have exclusive number of intermediaries or selective or intensive. Okay. Then we have the channel management decision. Selecting channel members. Sometimes you gotta select your members, then train the channel members because the marketing channel, they need training when they want to become a member. then you got to motivate them and inspire them and encourage them to do a good job. Then you have to evaluate it all the time. You have to see if you're doing the right job, if you're on the right track or not, and then you will modify according to the needs or the needs for improvement. You got to modify your channel all the time. So that's something you want to consider. You might want to modify your channel as you go along. Okay. So basically, your type of channel would be also like different. Uh, you would be you will follow a coercive power, like the manufacturer threatens or withdraw a resource or terminate a relationship if intermediaries fail to cooperate. So it's like you tell them, if you don't cooperate, I'll just withdraw and I'll just take my things back. So the power can be effective, but its exercise produces resentment. They don't like it. Then reward power is when the manufacturer offers intermediaries an extra benefit for performing a specific act or function. So it's just rewarding. Legitimate power is the manufacturer requests a behavior that is warranted under the contract. So you say, okay, under my old contract, you need to do this and this and this. Then expert power is the manufacturer has a special knowledge the intermediary's value. So that gives you the power. So that gives you the expertise, and also it will weaken though, because the manufacturers must continue to develop new expertise, because as time passes, people will learn, and your knowledge will become less. So you need to continue increasing your knowledge in order to be able to gain that respect. Reference power is the manufacturer is highly respected that intermediaries are proud to be associated with it. So, so the respect that the manufacturer has encourages the customers to, or the intermediaries to have a relationship with you and follow your procedures. Okay. So channel integration and system. So we talked about channel integration. We talked about vertical, when your corporate vertical marketing systems, corporate vertical marketing systems would be at the corporate level, administration level, or contract level. Sometimes it's horizontal, or sometimes it's multi-channel. So these are when it's vertical, there are certain different marketing channels that are related to each other. It could be at the corporate level, or just the administration level, or it could be temporary and just for contract. And then horizontal is like you have your corporate administration and everything. It's just that you do certain different types of marketing through different channels. And multi-channel is also when there are different channels working together at the same time. So here we have managing channel conflict. Sometimes you need to adopt superordinate goals. Sometimes you need to update, or you need to use diplomacy or meditation or arbitration. So basically, what we mean by that is there are conflicts. Always there are conflicts. So when there is a conflict, sometimes you need to make sure you have a goal. You know, the goal is bigger than like the conflict. So if everybody is following that goal, that helps you to sort of surmount the conflict. If you are, let's say, facing a conflict regarding the price or certain level of intermediaries, if you have a big goal, that might help you to surmount that challenge, and basically that helps you to to resolve the issue. So co-optation is when you help the other side, and together you sort of get to a resolution or something, and you finally get to a point that together will resolve the issue. Diplomacy is you will agree to some of the points that the other side wants, and you just say, okay, I'll agree with that, but you got to agree with these, the changes that I want to make. So mediation is like somewhere you ask somebody to mediate and sort of stop at a certain level, and arbitration is okay. It's like you give something and you get something in return. It's some sort of diplomacy, but it's like exactly you say, okay, I'll give you exactly this, and you give this much back to me. So it's just a return that you get. Okay. And then we talk about e-commerce marketing practices. We have e-commerce is very common nowadays, and we are doing business on pure click just by online. Brick and click means that you have the store and also click, or just brick and mortar, which means that you have the actual store. So basically, these are different type of e-commerce that are common nowadays, and so these will call for different marketing channels. Is there any questions so far, or shall we go to the next chapter? Okay, seems there's no question, so let's go to the next chapter. Wholesaling and logistics. So, okay, now we're going to talk about how to wholesale and take care of logistics also. So these chapters we talk about what major types of marketing intermediaries occupy this sector, what marketing decisions do these marketing intermediaries make, and what are major trends with marketing intermediaries. Okay. What is retailing? Retailing includes all the activities involved in the selling goods or services directly to final customers for personal or non-business use. So basically, all those activities that you do when you're selling goods and services directly to final customers is called retailing. Okay. So major retailer types are specialty stores or department stores, supermarkets, convenience stores, and discount stores, and also off-price retailers, superstore, and catalog showroom. So these are all different types of retailing, and they have their own type of looks and outlays. So, and we have seen most of them. We are familiar with all of them. Specialty stores, they're more like they give you a special type of products. Department stores, they're all around us. Supermarkets, convenience. So this is pretty straightforward. So we have all different type of retail stores and levels of retail service. Sometimes it's self-service, so you as a customer will go and help yourself get what you need and everything. Sometimes it's self-selection. You sort of use a certain level of self-service, and at the same time you get some help. Then limited service, there's like a limited service. There are some people to help you out. And then full service is just the moment you get in, they'll serve you until you get out. So it's like a full service that they give you. Non-store retailing. So non-store retailing is when you do a direct sell. Direct sell is just you directly sell to the customer. So basically you're not doing it through the store. For direct marketing, you do that. Or automatic vending, you just vend through automatic machines, or a buying service. You get a buying service that they help you take care of your, the service to help you take care of the buying. So it's basically there's no store in that case, and employees of the large organizations who are entitled to buy from a list of retailers have agreed to give discounts in return for membership. Okay. Then major types of corporate retail organization. We have corporate chain stores, voluntary chain, retailer cooperative, and consumer cooperative, or franchise organization and merchandising conglomerate. So these are different type of corporate retail organizations. So what we mean by that is the type of organization when it comes to a retail store sort of changes. So corporate chain is like they have chains everywhere, they are connected to each other, and they sort of follow the same procedures. They look the same, everything is the same. Voluntary chain is when there is like voluntary membership to that chain, and you know, they don't necessarily belong to the same retailer, but they sort of cooperate with each other. Then retailer cooperative is certain retailers come and work together. So in that sense, it's just a matter of which retailer exactly and how they can help each other. Then we have consumer cooperative, when the consumers get involved and they need to cooperate in order to buying happens. Then franchise organization, sometimes you franchise your retail organizations, or merchandise conglomerate means the merchandisers, they get together, they unite together, and they become one, so they work together as one unity. So marketing decisions that retailers make are basically, we talked about target market. So basically, they need to have a target market. Then they assort their products, okay, according to the market that they are, approaching. They will have to have a certain assortment of the products. Then their store should look a certain way, the atmosphere or the look of the store, the price that they have there, and the communication they have with the customer is a certain way of the marketing. And then location, where they are, basically makes a huge difference. So where they are shows how they should do it, and in what capacity they should do it. Okay. Then we have retail category management. So first, you need to define the category, figure out its role, assess its performance, set certain goals for it, choose the audience, and figure out tactics, and finally implement the plan. So basically, for retail management, I mean, some of us might be interested in running a retail, industry in later on in our career. So it's really helpful to know how it works. First, you need to know what category of retail you're working at. Then, what are the roles that you want to play? Then your performance, you need to be able to assess your performance. Then you need to also set certain goals for your category. Choose your audience. Who is your audience in that retail? And then figure out some tactics or ways or methods or strategies to be able to implement the plan at the end of the day. So that helps to know how retail industry works. So what are the service mix? So the service mix is pre-purchase services, post-purchase services, and ancillary services. So basically, there are different type of purchases that you want to consider. So basically, the first type is when you make purchases in advance, right? So you buy the products in advance, and when you buy them, you sort of know that you will send them later on. So you buy in advance, and then when you buy, you have certain services. Then post-purchase is when after the purchase is done, there are some certain services involved that you want to also provide, because like before the purchase is done and after, there will be need for services to be provided by the retailer. And finally, ancillary or supplementary, like subsidiaries that you have, they require some services. So basically, these are the services involved in the retailer business, because when you are dealing with your retailer business, you will have to be able to support your other retailers to make repurchases. After they make purchases, they need help. And finally, the subsidiaries or supplementary services that you need to provide them with. So these are all these type of services that you need to provide. Then we have location decisions. Location decisions is when we, take care of a general business district, like generally how are we taking care of our business, the district that you're running your business, there are certain decision making that you got to take care of. Then regional shopping centers, like in that region that your shopping centers are located, you got to make sure that in which part, let's say in shopping centers, which level, which store you want to put your retailer. Then community shopping centers, strip malls, and location within a large stores. So these are all these different places that you got to be setting up your location. So, and they all matter. I mean, if you put your location somewhere in a mall that nobody can have access to because all the shops want to buy stuff from you because you're a retailer, or all the customers. So basically you don't get that much attention. You need to be somewhere that the customers can see you, and you attract the attention of the customers so they come and see your product. So basically it matters a lot if you're able to be accessible to the customers and help them get what they want at the right time. So, and there are indicators of sales effectiveness. Basically, number of people passing by the location. So these are some more explanation how make it effective. How many people are passing by your street? Your shop, or who enters the store? And of those who enter the store, who also buys? So average amount of spend per sale is also very important. So these are certain ways for you to gauge or measure how your store is doing, how your retail store is performing. And according to that, you can see if you're successful or not. So there are trends in retailing. So new retail forms and combinations. So basically sometimes you have to come up with new retail forms. You make combinations, or growth of inter-type competition. Sometimes you need to, grow in competition and sort of compete with your other rivals, and store-based and non-store-based retailing. Sometimes you do store-based, sometimes you do employee-based or online-based. So all these different types of competition that you have with other retailers matters a lot. And there are a lot of giant retailers like Best Buy, Walmart, Target. All these guys, they make it difficult for small retailers to succeed, because a lot of customers, they just go to the huge giant retailers, and decline of middle market retailers. So that's the result of the growth of giant market retailers. And then growing investment in technologies. Technology is very important, and retailers are spending a lot of money in technology. So if you can't afford to spend money on technology, you would be probably lagging behind, and you're not as successful. And global presence of major retailers. So how global you are. We just talked in our business strategy class. We have the globalization strategy and everything. So the presence of that retailer, like if, let's say you're from another country, you go to another market or country and you see that a retailer that you don't know, that kind of reduces the chance that you buy from them, rather than when you know a retailer that is in your country and in every other country. So the presence that you are familiar with that retailer helps you. Wholesaling functions. Okay, what are the functions of a wholesaler? So they sell and promote, they buy and assort the building, they bulk break, so they sort of uh, they buy in bulk as well, and what they also do, they warehouse, they put in inventories a lot of products that they buy, they transport, they finance, they bear some risks, they give market information, and also they give management uh, services and counseling. So they give counseling to the businesses. So then we have major wholesale types. So we have merchants, we have full service, limited service, brokers and agents, manufacturers, and those who are specialized in certain type of wholesale. So basically wholesale is when they buy in huge amounts and then they sort of distribute. So they could be merchants, they could provide the whole service from A to Z, or just a limited service, which means just a certain part of the service to take care of, or they'll deal with brokers and agents, so they would be involved. So these guys would be a complementary part of the service, or manufacturers. So you know, manufacturing wholesales are also very common, or specialized. They are specializing in a certain industry, so that's also one of the ways. So then again, the decisions that we are dealing with is the target market, product assortment, price, promotion, and place. As you can see here, we have only a target market in addition to the 4Ps in a way. Because we have the target market, we have to take it in consideration. Then we have the product, the price, the promotion, and the place. So basically, it's like marketing, but it's just in a bigger scale. So wholesalers marketing is not anything different from regular type of marketing, but it's just bigger in the sense of you need to know your target market. And then you need to do market logistics planning, so you need to decide on company's value proposition, so it's onto its customers. So you need to know what type of value are you giving to your customers. You need to decide on the best channel design and networking strategy. You need to make sure you're giving the best, using the best marketing channel, and you have the best network so that you can reach out to customers. Then you need to be able to be excellent in the operation side and also implement the solutions to the problems that you're experiencing. So then finally, the decisions will be, what should orders be handled? How should orders be handled? Where should the stock be located, and how much stock should be held, and how should goods be shipped? So all these questions are when you're going to ship the products to the customers, or get the products first. I mean, materials first. So first, how do you order them? When customers order them, how do you send it to them? And where do you stock them when you receive the orders? And how much stock, how much inventory should you keep? And how should you ship the products that are ordered to your customers? So these are all decisions regarding your logistics. And then, of course, there will be factors of speed, frequency, dependability, capability, availability, traceability, and cost. So these are all these factors that are involved when you're doing the transportation. So the speed of the delivery, how frequent are you going to do transport? Like Amazon, what they do is they bundle the product that you order for a certain amount of time, and they deliver it at the same time if you want, and give you a better price. So these are all these different options that you can do when you are in retail business. Then how capable you are. If you are available, or I mean, what is the rate of availability that you have, and then how traceable it is when you are delivering a product, and the cost, of course, involved, because the shipment is very expensive. So you got to make sure you know how to charge your customers, and how would you charge them. So, is there any questions so far on this chapter? It was pretty straightforward, so I was not spending that much time. It's just we are dealing with the retail industry, which is one of the Yes, as we said, manufacturers always see the retailers add some price to the retailer to the customer. So they not always agree. As we said, they use different strategies. Manufacturers always use different strategies to make retailers follow their procedures, but not always they would do that unless the manufacturer is strong enough to force them to do something. Because retailer, don't forget, they're running their own business. They don't care about manufacturer that much. They just get the products from there, and they are those who sell the product. They are those in direct contact with the customer. So basically, they have a very good opportunity there, and they basically try to use it as much as they can. So unless the manufacturer is strong enough to stop them and say, hey, you're not allowed to do so, otherwise I'm not going to give my product to you. If they have that power, then the retailer will follow exactly what they are supposed to do. Let's say for Best Buy is always famous and known for their discounts, right? So what happens is with Apple, they can't do that. We have a concept here called Black Friday. The week after Thanksgiving here is, the day after Thanksgiving, the shops always have like those huge discounts, like 80% discount, 90%, 70%. But Best Buy, let's say, one of the retail stores, is not allowed to do such a thing on Apple products. So even though they are selling Apple products, but they can't sell them with that much of a sale because the Apple, as manufacturer, doesn't let them do that. You know what I mean? So if you're strong enough to tell your retailer what to do or what not to do, that's great. Otherwise, you have to reach to an agreement, and there's always difficult to get to that agreement. You need to use a lot of strategies and everything. So end of the day, there will be a lot of conflicts. Any other questions? You're welcome. Okay, let's cover one more chapter while we can. Chapter 17. Okay. So in this chapter, chapter 17, we are going to discuss how we design and manage integrated marketing communication. So basically, we are going to talk about how we are gonna, uh, manage the communications that are involved in our marketing processes. Okay. So the questions are: what is the role of marketing communication? What kind of role? What kind of role it plays? How do marketing communication works? What are the major steps in developing effective communications? What is the communication mix, and how should it be set? And what is an integrated marketing communication program? Okay. So basically, what do we mean by marketing communication? Basically, this means the means by which the firms attempt to inform, persuade, and remind consumers directly or indirectly about the products and brand they sell. So basically, what we mean is you are always communicating. I mean, marketing, we discussed about it, and it's just how you communicate marketing, your product to your customer. So you persuade them, you remind them, you let them know you're there, and directly or indirectly, no matter what, you tell them about your products and your brands. So basically, that's the communication. That's marketing, right? So, uh, you know, there are platforms, of course, on marketing. or communicating. So you have advertising on one side, and you have uh, uh, sales promotion on the other side. So you would print and broadcast advertisements, you package inserts, you motion pictures, brochures and booklets, posters, billboards, places of purchase displays, logos and videotapes. These are the tools that you use to advertise. Then you also do sales promotion. You contest games or premiums, sampling, you give sampling, trade shows, coupons, rebates, entertainment, and continuity programs. So those programs that you sort of run so that they know that you're there and everything. So these are all different tools that you use when you are communicating with the customers. So you run events like sports, entertainment, festivals, arts, factory tours, or company museums, or street activities. So you run events, or wherever there, or whenever there is an event, you make sure you're there, and your presence is like your advertisement. You communicate with your audience. Then public relations. How are you in the public relations, in the media? You're in the press, in the speeches, in the seminars, annual report. How about charity? Are you there in any charities, publications, community relations, and lobbying? Do you lobby at all, like with other marketeers? That's how you communicate. So that's basically very straightforward. You want to be present. You want to communicate to your customers. So you got to use whatever tool that you have. Then personal selling, like sales presentations, you send certain employees of yours to make presentations. Sales meetings, you run meetings and you go there and you sort of present your products and services. Incentive programs, samples or fairs and trade shows. So all of these ways are ways for you to sort of sell. And then direct marketing, like catalogs, mailing, telemarketing, electronic shopping, TV shopping, and everything. So direct marketing is when you contact directly via phone or fax or telephone or everything with the customers. And basically, as you know, there are elements in the communication process. So you have a sender, which is you, the message, which is the about the product and everything, receiver, which is the customer, responsive, which is the answer you get from the customer, and the feedback, which is whether they want to buy it or not. And then there's noise. Noise is like, what are the noises in the process? Noise could be some hindrance. When you're sending the message across, there will be noise, right? This is like pretty common sense, right? So the communication process, it will be a selective attention, selective distortion, or selective retention. So this is also the way that you communicate. You just choose certain customers and then approach them, or you choose certain customers not to approach, or you choose certain customers to keep. So all these different ways of communicating that we do in our everyday communication also. So you need to identify your target audience, know your objective, design your communication tools, select the channels that you want to communicate through, and establish some budget, because it's expensive, contacting the customers through all those tools is expensive. And then the media mix, whether you want to choose, let's say, TV or magazine or newspaper or anything, and then you want to make sure that you want to manage your communications, so IMC would be your, internal marketing channels, So, so you want to make sure that you have them right in the right place. So then let's get back to the image. I remember we discussed that. The sets of beliefs, ideas, and impressions a person holds regarding an object. So image is certain beliefs that you have, or ideas, or impression that you have of a certain object, okay? The image is something in your mind. It's intangible. It's not a physical thing, right? So basically, we just clarified that because when you are communicating, you want to communicate your image also. So you got to know what category of need you're communicating. The brand awareness. Are they aware of your brand or the attitude that they have towards your brand? And the purchase intention. Why are they buying your product? Then designing the communication. So you have to have a message strategy. Then it has to be creative. Then it has to have a source where the message is coming from. And then personal communication channels. Okay, what sort of personal communication channels you're using to communicate to your customers, and also non-personal. And then how do you integrate them together? Integration of different channels. So these are all these different factors. And then, so we go into that. So creative strategy is informational and transformational appeals. So positive or negative. You can create fear, guilt, shame, humor, love, pride, or joy. These are all these different type of creative, positive or negative appeals that you create in your customers while you're communicating your product or services. And then taglines, brand themes like our hamburgers are bigger, like you can sell that, you want to say that we provide huge sizes of food, where our tissue is softer, or no hard sell, just a good car. It's like, I'm not going to just sell my car to you, it's just a good car and it sells for itself. We don't rent as many cars, so we have to do more for our customers. So, these kind of things. You tell them how good you are. These are the image side. Then the ad sign, where's the beef? I want beef, so it's like that kind of a thing. Then don't squeeze the charm in, drivers wanted, or we try harder. So you see all these are communicating some message to the customers, and you see all those aspects of the communication that we did go through all these. So these are very, very common. So message source. So we have sellability characteristics, so expertise, trustworthiness, likability. So the message source, it could be one famous celebrity who you're using to send a message across. So whether that person is liked or not, or reliable or likable, those matter. So when it comes to communication with the customers or marketing, these are all important. Every single aspect will be important. Personal communication channels, your advocate channels, expert channels, social channels. So all these different channels that you use to communicate your product or service would also become important. Then stimulating personal influence channels. So you identify influential individuals and you give extra attention to them. So who are those individuals that you want to pay extra attention? Then create opinion leaders. Who are those leaders that could send a message across? Use community influentials in testimonials, getting feedback from the customers, and then develop advertising with high conversation. And then develop WOM referral channels, which means, when the customers want to refer somebody to you. When the customer is so happy, when the customer is sort of delighted, they talk about you. So it's basically word of mouth. So WOM stands for word of mouth, and that's one of the most important areas of marketing nowadays, because you see people blog, you see a lot of people, they have their own website, they have their own Facebook, and through their Facebook, they tell all about the product or service that they're using, right? So you don't want them to badmouth you. You want them to give you a good word of mouth. That's really important, because word of mouth is one of the best tools for you to do marketing. Then you would establish an electronic forum and use rival marketing. You want to, do rivalry regarding marketing to make sure you're doing a good job. Non-personal communication, like you use media, the promotion, events, as we talked about, or public relations. And then establish the budget. It should be affordable, like percentage of the sales should be taken into consideration in order for you to be able to establish a budget. And then competitive parity, it means that you're running into a that it's competitive. It's the amount of money that you're using is basically how good or effective you are in using it. It may helps you in your competition. And objective and task, you need to have a task and objective at any time that you're establishing a budget, because you want to attain that goal. You just don't want to spend money on nothing. You want to make sure you have an objective, then you assign a task, you do the task to get that to nail down that objective and get what you want. So basically, all these are important. Then objective and task method. So this is one of the methods. Establish the market share goal. Okay, what sort of share of the market are you aiming at? Then determine the percentage that should be reached, what percentage of the market you want to reach. Then determine the percentage of where prospects that should be persuaded to try the brand. Okay, so first of all, we said that when you do marketing, you want to make sure customers are aware of you. Okay, that's the first step. The first step in marketing is making customers aware of your presence. But that's not enough. The customer who knows you're there is not going to buy your product. They need to be persuaded to try your brand. So then that's your task, that's your objective, to make sure how much or what percentage of those customers who know you're there are going to be persuaded by this advertisement to buy your product, So the number of advertising impression per 1% trial rate, So then again, the number of advertisement impression, like 1%, even if 1% per advertisement would buy your product, that would be a good deal. So determine the number of gross rating points that would have to be purchased. So what is the amount of the products that should be purchased for you to be successful? You say, okay, if they buy this much, then I have met my goal. Of course, the more they buy, you're better off, but you don't care. You just need to make sure that they at least buy this much. Then determine the necessary advertising budget on the basis of average cost of buying, gross rate point. So basically, you want to make sure that you are making enough money, So then we talk about the characteristics of communication. So advertising, it should be pervasive, amplified expressiveness. It should be expressive and impersonality. So these are the advertising. And then sales promotion, it should be communicating, incentive, and invitation. So these are like different characteristics to advertising and promoting. So advertising is more of expressing and impersonating and telling you about it, but promotion is more of a communication and incentive or invitation. So they are kind of different. Public relations and publicity, so they have high credibility, ability to catch buyers, and dramatization. And on the other side, events and experiences, they have relevant, involving, and implicit kind of approach. So as you can see, you can't just do one of them. Every single one of them has its own benefits and only covers a certain aspects of your communication. Because as you know, end of the day, you want to communicate the whole thing, the whole product. Your product is not just the shape or the cover or the look. It has so many different aspects. So your presence in the events will give them some experience with your product. And at the same time, your public relations is the way you voice out and you give them your image, So basically, all these should come together. You can't just have a great image and a terrible experience and expect the customer to buy your product. They say, okay, they don't match. So this product, this company is not giving me what it should give me. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. Then you do direct marketing, like customized, up-to-date, interactive, and at the same time, personal selling, kind of a thing. And then factors in setting communications mix. So type of product market, what type of market are you targeting, type of consumer readiness to make a purchase, and a stage in product life cycle. And also, end of the day, your market rank. What is your rank in the market? So they are all alike. The ways you look at them, and then coordinating media to build brand equity. So your brand signatures, what is the signature of your brand? And then your cues, your ad cues and interactions with the customers. These are all different, ways for you to communicate to the customer and make sure they buy your product the way you want them to buy. You want to make sure your communication is done properly. They know who you are. So all these different aspects are important. Okay, so any questions so far? Is there any question on these chapters that we went through? Anybody has any questions or any comments? Okay, so I just do the same thing for this class also. I am going to talk about the assignment one more time to make sure that you know where we are. Okay. So as you all know, this is the last session of our marketing class, the lecture, but we have another session which is coming up, and that will be the time that you're submitting your group and individual projects. So you should have almost be done by that, and I just want to re-emphasize what I'm looking for. So as you know, it should be a group project. I want you to email me, every single group member, email me if other group members were participating or not. So I will receive separate individual emails from you saying that other group members were active or not. And that will be kept confidential, but I want everyone telling me who's participating and who's not. So that's one part. The second part is your presentation. So as you know, it's like the write-up. You have your write-up and at the same time your PowerPoint presentation. So I want you to apply all these concepts for this project, all these concepts that we went through in our marketing class to write that marketing plan, right? And I wanted, of course, you will be presenting, so you can choose one presenter or all of you. So in a class, every group will get 15 minutes to present, and you can choose one, or everyone can present a few minutes, and then we'll have a question and answer at the end of it. So you will be running the class. You'll be presenting your PowerPoint and be talking, and we'll be listening to you. And so that will take care of the group project. I will rather to receive the projects one day before so I can go through them and be able to, have them, and then I will upload them when you're going to present them. So please email them to me one day before. And then your individual projects is your executive summary of how you apply what you learned in your personal career, with your actual examples and applicable theories and everything. I want real examples. I don't want imagination. I want real, actual executive summaries, right? So make sure that you have that. And so I'll look forward to get your great job. So, okay. There is a question coming up now. So how is the process of media selection for marketing? What take in consideration the quick good media sources? Okay. Oh, so it's not regarding the project, but it's back to our class. Okay. So in order for you to choose the media, the first question in marketing is what? What are you doing in your marketing? You're communicating, right? And who are you communicating to? It's your customers, right? So your target market. So in marketing, always look at things with basic questions. Who is my target market and how I'm going to communicate, okay? So this will answer any question in marketing. So when you know your target market, let's say they're kids, okay? Would you be going and marketing your product in like movies, like adult movies? Not really, right? Maybe because like kids, sometimes the adults should buy the products for the kids, but not necessarily. You go like if you want to make a presence, you will go and be present in a certain like schools. You know, you make sure that you use those. You show your advertisement on TV during the cartoon shows and stuff like that. So all it matters is you got to know who's your uh, target media, I mean target audience, and you just choose those media that that target customer uses, and that helps you. That sort of answers any question, you know. So whether you need to use billboard or not, where you should put it, all this would be answered by knowing who's your audience. You know what I mean? So basically, that's how we look at it. Did I answer your question? Oh, you're welcome. Do you have any question regarding the assignment, everyone? So you're clear, right? So I'm looking forward to some great assignments and your presentation. So just you know, do your best and just follow these you know, basic rules, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Is there any other question? Okay. Okay, so here we finished the last lecture class of our marketing class. I'll let you go and you know, do a great job on your assignments, and I'll see you next week. And I'm sure you'll do a great job. So just work together. Don't forget to email it to me. If there is no other questions, so we're good to go. Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you everyone. You have a wonderful week, and uh, you have a happy new year also.